Romania, a truly beautiful country. Not loud, not overwhelming, but quietly remarkable. There is something different here. Something you begin to notice only when you slow down. The Carpathian Mountains rise gently, yet endlessly, stretching across the land as they have for centuries. Forests, deep, ancient, places where the world still feels untouched. Rivers move slowly through valleys and open fields, never in a hurry. And here and there you find castles not placed for show, but rooted in history. Nothing here feels forced. Nothing tries too hard. Everything simply exists, as it always has. And perhaps that is what makes this place so special. This is Romania. The Carpathian Mountains run through the center of Romania, forming one of the largest mountain ranges in Europe. They are not the highest, but they are vast. Covered in forests, they create a landscape that feels endless. In many areas, these mountains remain wild. Large parts have changed very little over time. In many areas, through forests and valleys, and in the quiet, you begin to notice just how undisturbed this place really is. Away from the mountains, in the countryside, things move slowly. Days begin early and follow patterns that have been the same for generations. Work is simple and often done by hand. In these villages, tradition is not preserved. It is simply lived. And while the world changes, here many things remain the same. Beyond the villages, Romania reveals another side. High above the forests stands Bran Castle, often known as Dracula's castle. Its towers rise sharply, surrounded by mountains and legend. Further into the mountains, Peleș Castle appears, refined, elegant, a symbol of a different time. And in the west, Corvin Castle stands strong, one of the largest medieval castles in Europe, with stone walls that have endured for centuries, each one telling a story, not of myth, but of history. Beyond the castles, the story continues. In towns and cities, where history and daily life meet. Sighișoara, one of the last inhabited medieval towns in Europe, where narrow streets and colorful houses have remained unchanged. In Sibiu, order and simplicity shape the rhythm of the city. And in Brașov, the mountains are never far, always present in the background. Even in the capital, the past and the present stand side by side. Modern life moves forward, but the history remains. To the east, where the river meets the sea, with stone walls that have endured for centuries. The Danube Delta, one of Europe's last great wetlands. A place of water, channels, and endless horizons. Here, everything moves slowly. Boats drift, birds glide, and time seems to follow a different pace. Life exists in balance between land and water. Quiet, undisturbed, and constant. In the north of Romania, there is a place unlike any other. The Merry Cemetery. Here, stories are not only remembered, they are told. Each cross painted in bright colors, each message simple and honest, sometimes even humorous. In the heart of the mountains, water gathers. Once again, Vidraru Lake, quiet and still, surrounded by forests and high ridges. It reflects the sky, the light, and the landscape around it. Here, everything feels balanced. A place where nature and human presence exist together. In the northern mountains, a different kind of journey still continues. An old steam train, moving slowly through forests, following the same tracks that have been used for generations. It does not rush, it does not change. It simply moves, as it always has. A quiet reminder of a different time. Not far from here, in the northern part of the country, there is a place, built almost entirely from wood. A monastery known as Bârsana, defined by tall wooden towers and quiet courtyards, built with care, using traditions passed down for generations. Here, time feels slower, and in the silence, something deeper can be felt. High in the mountains, a winding road cuts through the landscape. The Transfagarasan Highway, surrounded by steep slopes and open views. It follows each curve of the mountains. With every turn, the scenery changes. Wide open and constantly impressive. Further across the mountains, another road runs along the high ridges. Higher, more open, with wide views, stretching in every direction. Here, the landscape feels endless. And the journey becomes quieter, slower, and more immersive. High in the mountains, sharp ridges rise above the forests, a place defined by steep slopes and narrow peaks. The landscape feels wild, untouched, and shaped by time. Here, the mountains stand in their purest form. High in the mountains, a lake sits between the peaks. Balea Lake, surrounded by steep slopes and open sky. The water stays calm, reflecting the mountains and the changing light. Here, everything feels quiet and still. In the northern part of the country, another kind of place stands quietly. A monastery surrounded by walls, known for its painted surfaces and detailed artwork. Stories covering the exterior, preserved over time. A place of calm, reflection, and tradition, where history is not hidden, but visible on every wall. In the northern part of the country, another monastery stands out, often referred to as the Sistine Chapel of the East. Known for its deep blue color, unlike anything else, and for the large fresco covering its outer walls. A scene that has remained for centuries. Moldavite Monastery. Inside, the space feels rich in detail. Walls covered from floor to ceiling, every surface filled with images. Figures, scenes, and symbols, all carefully preserved. A place where every wall has something to show. Further along, another monastery stands quietly, older, more reserved, with thick walls and a strong presence, a place shaped by time, where silence feels deeper and everything moves a little slower. In a quiet place, a monastery sits among trees, surrounded by gardens and small paths. Life here moves slowly. People walk, work, and live. Everything feels calm and easy to understand. Hidden in the mountains, there is a fortress. Few people reach Poenari, the real stronghold linked to Vlad the Impaler. To get there, you must climb, step by step, through the forest. More than 1,000 steps, and with each one, the silence grows deeper. In the heart of a historic city, there is a fortress, built with precision, Alba, Carolina. Strong, ordered, and carefully restored. Wide streets, symmetrical walls, everything has its place. And each day, the past returns, in a simple but powerful ritual. Not far away, on a rocky hill, another fortress watches quietly, built as a refuge for the people below, strong but welcoming. From here, the view opens wide, fields, villages, and distant mountains. A place of safety and perspective. In the hills of Moldova, a fortress stands, strong and well-preserved, Neamc Fortress. Built long ago and carefully strengthened over time. The entrance crosses a long, arched bridge, rising above the valley, a place designed to endure and to protect. In the heart of a quiet town, a fortress stands, almost untouched. Efige Ha Fortress, surrounded by water, like a mirror of the past. Swans drift slowly across its surface, soft, peaceful, and timeless. A place where history feels gentle. High above the valley, on an ancient volcanic hill, a fortress watches, Deva Fortress. Rising above everything, the road up is quiet and slow. But the view opens endlessly. Fields, rivers, and distant hills. From here, everything feels far away. At the edge of the land, where the river narrows, between stone and silence, the Danube flows. Through ancient cliffs, carved by time. And here, a face watches, Diesbal, a memory etched in rock. As the waters pass, unchanged, carrying stories beyond time. High in the mountains, where wind and time shaped the stone. A silent presence, watching for centuries. Bucharest Sphinx. And among them, one stands, different, a silent presence, watching for centuries. the Bucharest Sphinx. By the water, a lone rock rises, standing still between sky and reflection. Limestone, stone, quiet, unchanged, and alone. And in another place, the earth shapes something unexpected, strange forms, silent and unexplained. The Trovans, high above the forests, the mountains open, post where paths appear and people follow the rhythm of the mountains. Across the Carpathians, the land breathes. In soft green waves, a land untouched, where nature and tradition still belong together. Romania, one of the last places where life remains authentic and in quiet fields, nature blooms in its purest form. Romania, one of the last places where life remains authentic high above the valley, a fortress watches, and perhaps this is why some places are never forgotten. Romania